Alrighty then, it's that time of the year once again where we get to the predictions. Now, I know this is just the 2022 driver predictions video, except for I didn't feel like putting a bunch of drivers in the other cars, so I'm just gonna do this first. So like it's only one driver in each car. So yeah. Bailey Curry will move into the number 00 machine, replacing Quinn Houff. And yeah, if you couldn't tell by the title already, these are the cars for the Daytona 500 I'm predicting. So his sponsor will be Permatex. I believe they sponsored him in like 2019. And yeah, he's replacing Quinn Houff at this ride, who will be moving to a part-time status with Ware Racing in 2022, just not in the 500. Noah Gragson will move up to the Cup Series, driving for Chip Ganassi Racing. So Kurt Busch hinted at a possible retirement a couple years ago, so I believe he will be retiring, and Noah Gragson will be moving up into the car. Bass Pro Shops and Black Rifle Coffee will be the sponsors. Brad Keselowski, despite all the rumors, I believe he will once again return to Penske. It's not really that much of a big deal, but honestly, it just depends on how this year is going to go, but I believe he'll have a pretty good year, so I believe he'll return to the car with discount tire on the hood. Austin Dillon will return to the 3 car, except for Dow will sponsor in the 500 again. I think it's their first since their win in 2018. Kevin Harvick will return to Stewart-Haas with Busch again. Kyle Larson will return to the number 5 car, however, he will now have sponsorship from Valvoline in the Daytona 500. Ryan Preece moves over to the number 6 machine for Roush Fenway Racing. So he joins his old teammate at the team, I guess, with Chris Buescher. I believe Ryan Newman is going to be retiring after this season. Corey LaJoie will return to Spire Motorsports again with Schluter Systems on the car for the 500. Tyler Reddick will return to RCR, even though his contract technically ends after this year, but I believe he'll return anyway. Fan favorite Chase Elliott returns to the number 9 car. I don't see him leaving anytime soon, and I don't think he's going to leave anytime soon. So yeah, he returns. Matt dibenedetto moves over to drive the number 10 after a surprise retirement from Aric Almirola. And I know this is kind of out there saying that Almirola is just going to retire, but yeah, dibenedetto will take over the car, and Smithfield will continue to sponsor the 10 with dibenedetto. They're not just going to leave the sport because Almirola left. Denny Hamlin will return to the number 11 machine for probably the rest of his career, but yeah, he returns to the 11 with FedEx. Ryan Blaney returns to the 12 once again. You will have Menards and Blue Def on the car. Carl Long will attempt the Daytona 500 for his own team. He will have Janny King on the car. And I believe this is one of the only starts that this second MBM car is going to make this season. Because honestly, without charters, that team's really just going to struggle a bit. So I think that they'll still try to race a bunch of races this season in their 66 car, but they'll still attempt the 13 in a few races. So yeah, Carl Long will attempt this race. Chase Briscoe will return to the 14 with High Point. Greg Gaulding will run the entire season for Rick Ware Racing this season. Panini America will return as the sponsor for him. and he will be running a Ford in the 500. Grala will return to the number 16 car for the 500. It's another... Well, Kaulig is going to attempt the entire season as an unchartered car. They're going to make most of their starts with grala, but they're going to make at least 10 starts with Allmendinger in 2022, I predict. So, yeah, Hyper Ice also returns to sponsor him. Chris Buescher is going to return to the number 17. Like I mentioned earlier when I mentioned Priest, he'll have Fastenal on the car. Kyle Busch will return to the number 18, no surprise there. Martin Truex Jr. already has a confirmed contract through next season, so he will be back. Christopher Bell will return to the number 20 after getting his first 2 career wins in 2021. I probably think he has got a good chance at winning another race this year. However, Stanley Tools will move in as the sponsor for the Daytona 500 instead of DeWalt. Austin Cindric, like we already know, will be moving to the number 21 for Wood Brothers Racing this season. And just like they did in 2013 with Trevor Bayne, they will have a throwback paint scheme for their first ride in a new generation car. Joey Logano will return to the 22, no surprise there. Bubba Wallace will also return to the 23, no surprise there either. William Byron, same as Wallace and Logano. Here is the new 2311 car. I predict Ty Dillon will be the driver for it this season. He ran for him in the Clash, and he did pretty decent. I think he got a top 10, but yeah. He will have Columbia on the car for the Daytona 500, but he will also be sponsored by Bass Pro Shops for a couple of races. Defending 500 champion Michael McDowell returns to Front Row Motorsports once again. David Gilliland is going to attempt the Daytona 500 in 2022. He will have Ford Performance on the hood. And yeah, I guess Reagan's done for good now. But yeah, I do think that Gilliland will be in the 36 to attempt his return to the Cup Series instead of David Reagan. Anthony Alfredo, despite probably going to be replaced by someone else, maybe Myatt Snyder. I mean, that hasn't even come up yet, but it's probably going to happen. He will move up to drive, or he will stay in the 38 regardless. And Digital Ally will be the sponsor for the Daytona 500 on that 38 machine. Kurt Busch, he's not done entirely, I don't think. He will run a unchartered third car for Chip Ganassi Racing with Monster Energy on the car. Cole Custer will return to the 41, and I believe the last year of his contract. I don't know exactly what it is. Ross Chastain will return, Advent Health moving from the 77 to the 42 this year. Erik Jones will return to the 43. They'll have sponsorship from Realtree for the Daytona 500 this season. And they're really going to need to find some sponsorships because, honestly, if they don't find any, they might have to lose their charter. But I predict they'll still have a charter. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will return to the 47, but there's a twist. I believe that the 47 team, you know how there's been a bunch of rumors about a Chevy team switching to Toyota? I believe JTG Doherty Racing will be that team, and they will go back to Toyota after the 2021 season. And Ricky Stenhouse will still drive, obviously. Also, the 37 car is going to shut down, which is kind of unfortunate. Alex Bowman will return to the 48 despite this being his contract season. Joey Gase will make the Daytona 500 in the first Rick Ware car. Red Rock Secured will join him. Cody Ware will move over to the 52 and will run the entire season in that car. And Nurtec is coming back to sponsor him. However, he'll be in the 52 instead. James Davison will make his first Daytona 500 start, and he'll make it for Ware Racing, obviously, with Jacob Companies on the car. Timmy Hill will return to the car. He's going to try to run the full season. However, he'll probably not. VSI Racing will return to the team. Justin Haley will officially run the entire season in the second Spire Motorsports car, and Muto.com will be the sponsor with FOE also on the car. Ryan Ellis will attempt the Daytona 500 in a now unchartered Live Fast Motorsports, as their other charter went to 2311. But yeah, it'll not be BJ McLeod for the 500. It will be Ryan Ellis. Brandon Jones will attempt to make his first Daytona 500 start for Gaunt Brothers Racing. He'll have Menards and Turtle Wax on the car. And last but certainly not least, Daniel Suarez will return to Trackhouse Racing, and iFly will sponsor once again for the 500. I do believe that Beard Motorsports will try to make the 500, but will not make it to the track due to like mechanical failures or something, because honestly what I'm saying is I don't believe Beard Motorsports is going to attempt the 500 next year. I was thinking about putting Brett Moffitt in the car, but I decided not to because I kind of think that there's going to be less entries in the 500 entry list. I don't know if you were counting there, but I put 43 cars on the entry list for the 500 in 2022. So, yeah. I do not believe that Beard Motorsports will attempt the 500 in 2022. But of course, that is still far away, so we never know. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Say some predictions you have of your own down in the comments if you want. I don't really care if you do or not. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your Thursday.